Did you see that storage question come through?
Yeah, I got it. I got this out too, so I'm ready to go for that question.
Do you literally have a container with containers in it?
Yeah, dude. Doesn't everybody? Hey guys, welcome to Gear Tasting. Today I wanted to start out by talking about a couple of products that Proper just released. So they sent us some of these packable backpacks and duffels, and I wanted to just kind of let you see what these are about. In addition, at the end of this, I've got something I'm going to do with these three. So at any rate, backpack, someone said that they played a drinking game with that, right? My God. I think I responded to that comment too. Where's my drink? All right. At any rate, this is the packable backpack. So you can see it packs down into, I don't know, maybe that's like a 5x5 cube or something like that. They don't really give too much in terms of the product description on the packaging. But what we have here is, looks like the stuff sack kind of tucks into the main body of the backpack. You've got a nice kind of, I guess that's a little bit of like a clamshell type opening. Like maybe a half clam, so to speak. The front has a external pocket here, same type of deal. So it's got quite a bit of space. The straps look fairly rigid. They seem to be attached well to the body of the backpack. You've got a hang strap for the backpack as well. And then it's got an adjustment on the side here for the straps. It's got some, it's not quite paracord on the poles, but it's got some type of nylon cordage there for the poles. A little Proper logo on the outside, and the sides have a elastic mesh pocket on each side. I don't quite think you could fit a Nalgene in there. I don't know, maybe you could. I thought I had a Nalgene around here, but. So strap, looks like it has quite a bit of room for adjustment here on the backpack. So that is the backpack version. And they've also got a duffel version. This is their packable duffel. This looks like a pretty large duffel bag there. Again, same type of cordage material on the zippers. Fills out pretty nicely. So it's got external pockets on each side. Open up here. Then it looks like it's got a spot to attach a strap, like a shoulder strap, but I don't see one included. But what I'd like to do too is also pack this back in. See kind of if I can get it to look the same way again. It does pack back together pretty nicely. There you go. So packable duffel. Pack up this backpack real quick again. There's no real instructions on how to pack this back up, so I'm just kind of winging it and stuffing it. This kind of look like a stuff sack type application. I'd say overall pretty handy. Not bad for a backpack and a duffel bag size to pack back up. So what we have is a tan or brown or coyote packable duffel. We have a olive drab packable backpack, and we have a black packable duffel. So these three things I'm going to give away. So we'll go back to the old school, leave a comment below with I'm in. You can obviously leave other comments and questions below in the video, but use the phrase I'm in and we will randomly select 3 different winners. Welcome to Questions Over Coffee. I have two questions today. The first one is from Travis L., who asks, what's the single best piece of advice you can give to a 20-something-year-old that's starting a niche blog relating to the security industry, corporate executive protection? A hard lesson that you've learned that I could take away. Well, I've got a couple of hard lessons I've learned, but the biggest piece of advice that I could give you is consistency. That's probably the biggest thing that I saw a result on early in ITS's career when I started that 7 years ago. Consistency is key. A lot of people will say content is key, and that's true too. But I would argue that the consistency of the content is the biggest thing that you need to focus on, especially when starting a blog. And just know that success does not come overnight. So by success, I don't mean in terms of all the money in the world. I mean the success of having people enjoy what you're writing about and finding a following. That type of thing takes a while to build. I mean, I didn't find that right away when I started ITS. It was kind of almost questioning whether I should even keep doing it, and I've questioned that quite a few times in the process for starting ITS and kind of coming full circle to where we are now 7 years later. But I would say also something to keep in mind too is that don't pay attention to the people that try to tear you down, because that's going to come with anything that you do. Anything you do that's successful in life, people are going to try to tear it apart, pick it apart, talk shit about it. Don't listen to the haters. Just keep doing what you love and make sure it's something you're passionate about, and that's my advice. So thanks a lot. All right, next question comes from Schmevens? Bueller? Anyone? Would you make a section dedicated to storage solutions like the storage behind you in this video? How did you know we'd be in front of this on the video? Anyway, what I wanted to do is kind of highlight that today. I think it's a great question. I know we've gotten a lot of questions about the storage stuff that we have, because I'm super anal retentive when it comes to organization and labeling, and OCD, it just runs through my veins. So I'd be glad to kind of walk through some of the ways that we've used to organize all the gear and the things that we review on ITS, as well as just kind of my personal equipment that I have in the shop too. So I want to start out here, since we're facing this direction, talk a little bit about this stuff, and then we'll move over to the other side where we kind of pull from when I'm talking about different gear choices on gear tasting. So these shelves came from Lowe's. I believe they still sell them. The way that we have them configured, I've gotten this question a couple of times in regards to the hangers. So these are the world's strongest coat hangers. That's really the name of them. And the way that I have these set up is that they just route through this mesh wire material. I say mesh, but it's really like a wire rack. But they have holes in the rack, and I just kind of weave the hanger in here like this to hook it in there. So that's what I use to hang all the body armor and the vests and things like that up. Belts, same thing. I just kind of weave those through there. I thought that the top made a really good way to organize backpacks. I've started really trying to think of how to organize backpacks a little better. We talked about having an actual pulley system with like a big rod, and we could hang the backpacks that way and lower them up and down, but that's kind of a pain in the butt, especially when you want to grab something and go and pack it out. So I've really just kind of defaulted still to this method. I think it's worked best for us. It can be a little hard to find things up there sometimes, but I do feel like it still works out pretty well. And then even though I've got a big bin over here of gloves, I still like to kind of keep some gloves here, just kind of my go-to pairs of gloves. That's kind of the methodology behind this. And of course, you never know when you need a grappling hook. So those are, easy access for grappling hooks right there. Clothing is the same way as the vests. They're just on different hangers that are hung up this way. And then down below where you can't see, I've got a couple of kit bags that I keep supplies in as well. And some boots are down on the bottom shelf. But the way these shelves come configured is they come with 3 of these actual horizontal shelves. One is the top, and then I've chosen to, obviously put one a little lower than this because it gives a good vantage point for the height that I need to hang stuff on, and then a small area up here for helmets and things like that. These are just smaller gear bags. These are from Eagle. Eagle's kind of now defunct anyway, but as far as I know, but their gadget bags were pretty cool. I like these a lot. It makes for easy organization. I kind of have that same scheme with the kit bags below. Kit bags are just a bigger version of these if you don't know what those are. But I like the kind of different patterns and colors because it helps me kind of think about what I have in different colorways too. And then obviously all the clothing hanging up, layer systems, the PCU stuff, all my camo stuff. And then this shelf is just kind of some odds and ends. But let's go over to the other shelf. All right, so to pick up where we left off, I wanted to just kind of show you this because I think you can see it in the frame. This just gives you a better idea of the lower shelf that's under here. This is just where I keep all the stuff for the range. So I've got my IPSC chart targets and my range cleaning box and stuff like that. Makes it easy to grab and go. And I think you might be able to see the peak of the boots and stuff down here. So I keep all my boots down that way. And then over here we've got some Pelican cases that I can grab and get the guns out of the safe when I need to take to the range. And then these are just regular, I really don't know what the name of these shelves are, just like a wire shelf. And then what I've done is taken a bunch of storage containers. I love these things from Container Store. These are just their like shoe boxes, but I think they make really nice bins. They're cheap. They're not too much. If you have a Container Store near you, that's kind of the OCD person's heaven, if you will. So I like going in there and being very organized. So these larger bins here are also from Container Store. These are a long time ago though. I don't even think they make these anymore. This is kind of like my glamping stuff, the glamour camping area. So bigger tents, bigger cots and things like that. And then up here we've got, kind of the ground pads and backpacking size tents and things like that. Then I've got all the sleeping bags stored up here. I think we talked about that in an episode a couple ago about the storage methods for sleeping bags. But there's 3 size containers that I have. They've worked out really well so far with this system. We just put this together. We've got everything from cordage to survival to headlamps to helmets to knee pads to concealment and tools, and everything's got its own bin. So we've just got a lot of stuff, and we felt that was probably the best way to organize everything. You can see when it comes to like gloves, there's a considerably bigger bin for stuff like that. And then we've got the huge bin down here, which is holsters, and which have significantly grown since the 7 years I've started ITS. I've gone through many different holsters and things like that. So, and just because it's impressive, that's a shitload of chem lights. So, at any rate, that's drink. I'm going to start doing that. I like that. That's kind of the organizational method. As you can see, it's worked so far. I've, as things progress and as they grow, I'm sure we'll change things up. But I like the Container Store bins because they do have different sizes and you can kind of go up from there. So hopefully that gives you an idea and a run through of how we store stuff at ITS. All right, guys, thanks for watching Gear Tasting. Don't forget to leave a comment if you want to be entered into the proper giveaway for those 3 bags that we have. And don't forget to pick up your official Pound Tag Gear Tasting mug. And don't forget to use the Pound Tag Gear Tasting on any of the social media networks if you would like your question answered on the show. And if you're enjoying what we're doing here at Gear Tasting, please check out the membership link below and consider joining the membership. Allow us to give you back something in return. Thanks again.